Hello everyone, my name is Gina Gilmore. Today I want to talk to you about how easy it is to incorporate current events into standard lesson plans in elementary education in science. First, I'm going to provide you with the 4th grade science standard that I will be addressing for this lesson. Next, I will be discussing the current event article that was written about climate change and how that relates to global warming. I will finish up with providing you with some additional resources that will help you and your students when teaching and learning about this standard. Here is the standard that I will be teaching. In Part A of this standard, we introduce the 4th grade students to the weather instruments and how they are used to measure weather conditions. In Part B, students will learn how to read and understand weather maps. In Part C, teachers will engage students in making weather observations and having discussions about how to predict weather events. And in Part D, students will learn the difference between weather and climate. This is the specific portion of the standard that I have found a great current event article on. The article that I have listed here comes from a wonderful website, News-ELA. This is a great resource for teachers because it contains many current event articles in science. Also, the website allows you to select different reading levels for the same article. Therefore, can be useful for differentiation in the classroom. For example, for upper level readers, you can assign a higher reading level for the article, as well as assign the same article at a lower reading level for students who are the low-level readers in your class. And for the readers in your class that are on grade level, you can assign the appropriate reading level of the article. This article here is a great source when teaching about the difference between weather and climate. The article entitled, "Science Says Why There's a Big Chill in the Warmer World," written by Seth Borenstein in January of 2018, explains the super cold air is normally contained in the Arctic Circle in the polar vortex. Borenstein discusses how weakening and movement of the polar vortex has resulted in colder than normal average temperatures in the U.S. Conversely, in Europe, the average temperatures during the same time were warmer than normal. Scientists debate whether the movement of the polar vortex is due to human-caused climate change or just natural variability. Jason Furtado, a meteorology professor at the University of Oklahoma, is quoted in the article saying that climate change hasn't made the polar vortex more extreme, but it probably is making it move more, which makes the weather seem more extreme. Borenstein includes a great quote from Furtado at the end that I want to share with you now. It says, "Weather and climate are not the same thing. Weather lasts just a few days or weeks. It only happens in one small part of the world. Climate is measured over years. It affects weather around the whole world. The weather can be cold even if the climate is warming." Furtado said, "A few cold days do not mean global warming is not happening." Now I would like to tell you about some great additional resources that I think you will find helpful when planning a lesson for this standard. Up first is a short 2-minute video from the NASA Climate Kids website. In addition to having the students watch the actual video, the website also provides a nice PDF file that can be used in the classroom as a visual aid. The narrator explains how weather is only temporary in a small area lasting hours or days, while climate covers an entire region over decades. Also, the narrator explains how NASA uses satellites as tools to measure such things as sea level changes and cloud cover from space, which helps NASA to see the changes in the climate. This link is just one of the many resources that this website can provide for teachers as well as students. Up next is the video "How We Confuse Weather and Climate" by Hot Mess, which is an affiliate of PBS, which has a lot of information that will help generate class discussions about science of weather and climate. One good quote from this video that the narrator makes about why we confuse weather and climate is, "Small disturbances in the atmosphere can lead to huge swings in the weather we experience every day." The narrator also helps students to understand what climate change actually is and how it is measured over time. The video shows how we mistakenly make judgments about climate change based on our recent experiences with weather. We often fail to understand that a complex and difficult issue like climate change needs careful analysis over long periods of time and over large regions. My final resource is another online article. This one is by National Geographic Kids entitled Climate Change. The author discusses how over the past few hundred years, human activity has increased the release of carbon dioxide gas into the atmosphere. This gas traps heat that would otherwise escape Earth's atmosphere. That increases Earth's temperature, which contributes to the planet's warming. One unique aspect of this article is that at the end, they give the students tips on how they can make a positive difference to help keep the Earth healthy. This presentation here has all been about how to incorporate current events into standard lesson plans in elementary education and science. I covered the 4th grade science standard that I sought to meet with this lesson. I discussed the current event article that I selected that was written about climate change and how that relates to global warming. I finished by providing you with some additional resources that will help you and your students when teaching and learning about this standard. I hope this presentation has shown you how to easily incorporate current events when teaching 4th grade science.